modern warfare has changed. The first wave of conflict today is not the tanks crossing the borders. They are the missiles, drones, rockets, and precision strikes targeting cities, air bases, and infrastructure. Israel operates one of the most battle-tested layered air defense systems in the world. They are built not for theory but for survival. From Iron Dome to David Sling to Arrow, each layer counters a different class of threat. But here's the larger question. What does Israel's layered defense shield tell us about India's own air defense preparedness, especially in the context of combined China-Pakistan threat matrix? Let's decode the architecture and the lessons. Air defense systems are not built for abstract threats. They are built for real adversaries, real inventories, and real doctrine. Israel's layered shield, Iron Dome, David Sling, and Arrow reflects a country surrounded by immediate missile threats across multiple ranges. But when we examine India's environment, the comparison becomes more complex, especially when we factor in the combined capabilities of China and Pakistan. Israel's model layered defense against layered threats. Israel's threat perception includes high volume rocket saturation, precision guided medium range missiles, long range ballistic missile threats, and to counter this, Iron Dome intercepts short range rockets targeting urban areas, David Sling counters cruise missiles and medium range ballistic threats, and Arrow missiles intercept long-range ballistic missiles, including exo-atmospheric engagements. Israel's geography is compact, its radar grid is tightly integrated, its threat vectors are dense but geographically narrow. Now shift the lens to India. India's threat environment, not one adversary but two. India does not face a single front missile threat. It faces a potential two-front challenge from China in the north and east and Pakistan in the west. Pakistan fields short and medium range ballistic missiles, cruise missile systems like Babar, expanding drone and loitering munition capabilities, while China fields large conventional ballistic missile inventories, long range cruise missiles, hypersonic glide vehicle development, integrated air defense suppression doctrine, expanding UAV and electronic warfare capabilities. Now imagine these not as isolated threats but as a coordinated matrix. In a contingency scenario, Pakistan could attempt tactical saturation along the Western Front, while China applies precision, long-range strikes on strategic infrastructure in the north and the east. That creates a combined pressure environment. India's counter architecture. India's layered system includes S-400 Triumph, long-range interception capability, Akash missile system, the medium-range air defense, Barak-8 naval and land-based coverage, and indigenous ballistic missile defense interceptors.
At Vayu Shakti exercise in Pokhran, the Indian Air Force demonstrated integrated air defense, with the S-400 achieving a 300-kilometer intercept during Operation Sindoor, countering Pakistan's PL-15E and China's hypersonic threats. India now plans 5 additional S-400 squadrons across the eastern and western front, boosting readiness for a two-front contingency. Akash and Spider systems are also demonstrated precision against maneuvering targets. Together, these layers are evolving into the Sudarshan Chakra architecture, powered by Israeli sensor fusion for multi-domain integration. Unlike Israel's compact model, India's continental air defense grid is built for scale, depth, and network survivability, especially during the critical early hours of the conflict.
But here lies the sharper strategic challenge. Israel builds for density. India builds for dual front scale. Israel's system is designed to manage saturation from one primary axis at a time. India must consider simultaneous pressures across multiple theaters. That demands distributed radar coverage across thousands of kilometers, hardened air bases, and redundancy. Mobile missile batteries, joint theater level integration, and seamless coordination between the Army, Air Force, and the Navy. The China Pakistan Synergy Factor. China and Pakistan conduct joint military exercises, they share strategic alignment, technology flows between them. In crisis, operational synchronization, even if not formally coordinated, could create overlapping pressure. For example, Pakistan initiates tactical missile activity in the west, China escalates aerospace pressure along the line of actual control, cyber and electronic warfare operations disrupt radar networks. Therefore, this is no longer just a layered missile problem. It becomes a system resilience problem. Strategic take. The Israel model teaches layered defense, but India's requirement is layered defense at continental scale under dual front stress. Survivability is the first objective, but survivability under simultaneous multi-theater pressure is the real benchmark. India cannot simply replicate Israel's architecture. It must evolve towards integrated air and missile defense command, multi-domain network resilience, rapid replenishment capability, and indigenous interceptor production scale. Because in a China-Pakistan combined threat scenario, the first 72 hours will not just test missiles. They will test network integrity, command resilience, and interception sustainability. In the modern warfare, whoever maintains decisive coherence shapes offensive opportunity, and that is the strategic takeaway. So the lesson from Israel is clear. No single air defense system is sufficient. Survivability comes from layers. Credibility comes from integration, but India's challenge is larger in scale and more complex in geography. Unlike Israel's compact battlefield, India must defend its vast frontiers potentially against simultaneous pressures from both China and Pakistan, which means the real debate is no longer about acquiring systems, it is about building a fully integrated, resilient, multi-theater air and missile defense grid. Because in modern conflict, the side that survives the first wave shapes the second. And air defense is no longer just protection, it is a deterrence.